Okay, well, find yourself in a tall feeling, supported feeling seat. Remember, it doesn't really matter what it looks like, but if you're in a chair, I do recommend not crossing at the ankles or the knees, but it's your prerogative. Maybe if your feet are touching the ground, you can like push them into the ground. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears a couple times. Give your neck and your head a little bit of extra space. And next time your shoulders are down, keep them down. Maybe a gentle pinch of the shoulders behind you, but don't like Superman it yet. Just chill where you are, okay? Elbows are resting, hands are resting on the arms of your chair or maybe on your body somewhere, your lap. And let your gaze go forward and down. Tuck your chin down and back like you're pressing your head into a wall behind you so that you can find even more length. Good. And then fix your gaze on something ahead of you that's not moving. Lock your attention on that spot, meaning don't let the eyes dart around, but then do relax the muscles in the eyes and around the eyes. Your vision might go blurry or fuzzy. That's normal. Separate yourself mentally from what you were doing so you can come fully now into what you are doing. Everything that you were thinking about and working on before will be there waiting for you if you choose to pick it up after class. And start to ground and center yourself, starting with what you see in your field of vision. So try not to dart your eyes around, but do notice everything in your field of vision. And challenge yourself instead of labeling objects like I see tables and chairs to simply name shapes and colors as if you're seeing these things for the first time. Notice where sources of lights are versus where the shadows are being cast. Even if your eyes are shut, you might see flickers of light, dark patches, shapes, colors. Just notice. Notice where the doors and windows in the space are in relation to your body. And notice where the other people or objects are in relation to your body. Notice all the noises in the space. Maybe you detect something far away from you first. Then notice noises inside the room, but still far away. Then notice your own personal bubble of space. Notice any sound from your body or immediately around your own body. Notice where the air around you is touching your skin versus where your clothing is covering your skin. Notice the weight of your body in your seat. And see if you can get heavier where you're touching down as you stay tall and light, reaching up through the crown of the head at the same time. Settle your awareness on your breathing and try not to change it yet. Although it's sometimes normal, especially if you start practicing for a while regularly, every time you bring your attention to your breath, you might kind of by default or automatically without controlling it start lengthening the breath. That's okay. You don't have to control that. Just don't force anything. Notice your breath coming in and out. Notice where you sense it the most today. And then, still not controlling your breath, locate in your mind's eye the opposite location and sense your breath there. So, what I mean is, if you feel your breath the most in your low belly, for example, see if you can breathe naturally and get a sense of if you detect your breath in your upper back. If you feel your breath the most in the nostrils, Notice if you also detect your breathing in your low belly. You don't have to find anything. There's no right or wrong answer. Just do this little experiment. And then you could start to kind of exaggerate and bring intention into your breath. Maybe you elongate your inhale, imagine it coming lower and deeper into your body, almost like your lungs grow down into your low back and your hips. And then as you exhale, watch everything recede back to the center as you slowly release the air. And typically, we do ask in yoga that you breathe in and out of your nose. But if you're stuffy or something, just breathe out of your mouth like you're blowing out of a straw. Continue to notice. One more like that. Don't force it. Allow the breath to get deeper and longer and fuller. And then return back to your natural passive breathing. Notice anything left over so far. Good. Next time you inhale, open your eyes if you haven't already. Feel free to just be more alert and awake. You can kind of look around the room, take it in again. It might look or feel a little bit different. That's normal after pranayama, after the breath control. And then inhale, scoot forward towards the edge of your seat. Plant your feet really firmly on the ground so you have more room behind you and to the sides of you too. Good. Hands on your knees. Inhale, pull your belly forward, chest forward. Let your eyebrows lift. Eyeballs can look up. Keep your neck long. Maybe your whole face looks up. Stay here and just breathe. Press into your feet more. Squeeze your shoulders toward your hips. As you breathe big and low into the belly, notice where you feel it the most. Now do the opposite. Round your shoulders forward, pull your belly button in towards your spine, maybe tuck your tail a little, and look down towards your belly. Really press into the hands, reach them further away from you. Round your shoulders more behind you. Head is like a bowling ball on a string, just kind of hanging there. Breathe. You don't have to breathe deep, just keep your breath moving in and out and notice where you feel it the most here. And now go back and forth. So on your inhale, pull your belly forward, chest forward, gaze goes forward, maybe up. And when you're ready to exhale, switch. Do your cat pose, really round between the shoulders like a black cat on Halloween. Back and forth at your own cadence. See if you can match up your movement with your breathing. So let your breath determine when you transition into the next part of the posture. So don't come into your cow pose until your lungs start to fill up with air. And try not to get to the top until the lungs are full of air. And then do the opposite with the exhale. It's okay if it feels kind of unnatural or like it's not mapping onto the breath the same or how you expect it or how you want or how you think it should look. Just try to match them up as closely as you can and be aware if your body moves slower or faster. Maybe one more back and forth, maybe two if you're moving more quickly. And then come back to a tall neutral spine with your head stacked on top of your spine, your shoulders stacked on top of your hips, feet pressing into the ground, tail reaching down into your chair, skull reaching up towards the sky. Soft face, Shoulders down. Good. Let your arms come down by your sides and identify where your right arm is in space. You can give it a wiggle if you want to. And then inhale, bring your arm either out, maybe it stops there, or maybe up. If your neck has anything to say about it, really bend the elbow, bend the wrist, bend the fingers, like a puppet or something. Just let it be a little more passive, or you can take the arm out of the equation, put it behind your back. Inhale, make more space between the shoulder and the hip. And then exhale, to any extent, lean over towards the left. So you can reach your fingertips down towards the floor, or I tend to like hang on to my knees so that I can almost use it as leverage to lean over more. And it drives sensation into the low back and hips in a different way. If you like it, great. If not, leave that tip where it is. You can look forward or down towards the floor. I guess you could look up. Just make sure the neck has nothing to say about that. Stay leaned over towards the left and notice what happens if you kind of reach more at a diagonal towards the front corner of the room. On your next inhale, push into your feet in your seat, bring your torso all the way back up, and exhale, let your arm travel down. And it's okay if you get that whooshing feeling, tingling, coldness, all that stuff. It's normal. Just let the blood pressure come back to what it was. And then we'll do the other side. So inhale your opposite arm either out or up. Try what you did on the other side. It doesn't have to look identical. Don't force it. And then really press down into your feet in your seat. Create length between the hip and the shoulder as you go up and over, up and over, up and over. Breathe. It doesn't have to be super big or deep, but do keep your breath moving in and out. Don't hold your breath. And you don't have to be perfectly still, too. You might notice a lot of like kind of, I'll exaggerate it here, but just like traveling up and down as your breath comes in and out. That's normal. It's called riding the breath. And you could stay, or maybe you try that idea where you reach over towards the front corner of the room at a diagonal. Press into your feet. Inhale, come up all the way. And then exhale, let the arm come down. Notice what's left over. Good. Inhale, bring both arms out to a T shape, and then exhale, twist to one side. Let's do repetition and stay here. So inhale back to the center, and exhale, twist to the opposite side. Just kind of follow your breath side to side like that. Inhaling through the middle when you're ready. Don't rush it, and then exhale, twist. Next time you inhale through the middle, exhale and twist to the side you're on and stay for 3 breaths. Take your chin down and back, reach up through the crown of your head. Maybe you look over your back shoulder as you stay. When you're ready, inhale back through the center. Exhale, other side. Let the arms come down just for support. Try not to like crank it and pull it. We're not going for like a chiropractic adjustment here. Still looking for length, still chin down and back, still belly in and up, maybe looking over your back shoulder. Good. Inhale yourself back to the center and exhale, forward fold. So I like to do the karate chop on my belly, right? So hee-haw, and then push my belly in. So that way I can fold a little bit more deeply and rest my belly and my torso on my legs. But you also could put your elbows on your knees and cradle your head. Especially if you have headaches or migraines, it might be beneficial to keep the head above the level of the heart. Stay and breathe where you landed. Wherever you are, head is super heavy. Shake your head yes a little bit, real gentle, then shake the head no. Breathe bigger into your back.
Notice what happens when you stay, but rock your weight more into your heels. You could stay here, or you could lift your hips, continuing to fold forward. So you're in a standing forward fold instead of a seated forward fold. Totally up to you. If you're standing, bend one knee more and then the other. Knees can stay super duper bent. You don't have to straighten them all the way. Head is still heavy, face is still soft. Good. Sit your hips back down if you were standing. Be super careful. And then inhale, roll yourself up to a tall spine and lift your arms up overhead. You can keep them separated. Some people like to look up towards their hands, but if you get lightheaded, look forward and tuck your chin down and in. That should help you not get so dizzy. Hands can be apart, or you could start to bring them towards each other, pressing the palms into each other, pressing each fingered pair into each other. Lift the shoulders up away from your hips. Imagine that your hands are connected to a string or a rope and you're being pulled instead of just reaching and pushing on your own. Last big inhale here. And then exhale. Hands come down, let them hang by your sides, look forward, take a breath, notice what's left over. Good. Identify your right leg and lift your right leg. Cradle your leg in your hands. I like to interlace my fingers underneath like a fist and then let the leg be super heavy. Good. So that you can rotate through the ankle and go one direction a few times. Try to stay tall, but don't worry about making it perfect. I always tend to end up like totally slumpy. So the reminder's mostly for me. Go the other way too. And then pause. Inhale, lengthen through the leg to any degree. And exhale, bend. Do that a couple times. Soft face. Maybe you part your teeth and your lips slightly. Still just breathing and noticing. Last one. And then put that foot back down and move to the other side. You can grab your pants too. It's just for my arm length, it's comfortable, hands under my thigh. But you could totally just grab your pants and roll your ankle one way and then the other. See if you can move a little slower and really find your actual range of motion. Even without injuries, some of us have like habitual movement patterns, and there's like a sticky spot where I skip for some reason. It's like a record skipping. Anyone else have that? Yeah, it's like, why do I do that? So go the other way too, and just notice what your patterns are. And if you slow down and be mindful, can you change the pattern? I forget that quote. My teacher repeats it a lot. Oh, may your yoga make you one step or just a little bit smarter than your habits or something like that. I think it might be from BKS Iyengar, but I'm not sure about that. Okay, come to stillness. Inhale, lengthen through your leg, and then exhale to bend. Do that a couple times. Good. And then put your foot back down. Let's do the same through the wrists. So bring your hands out ahead of you, or you could do one at a time and roll through the wrists. Again, slower than you think. Close your eyes if you want to really find your actual full range of motion. Notice anything, especially for us who are like on the phones a lot and typing a lot and texting a lot, probably. Notice if there's some sticky or even painful moments here. Not necessarily that you have to do anything about it, but just be aware. Like my texting hand, it's way tighter in the thumb and things like that. And go the other way too. Let's go opposite direction.
And then arms straight out ahead of you, but turn your palms facing up and curl in your fingers, bend at the wrists, bend at the elbows to touch your shoulders. Inhale, unfurl. Maybe you even kind of push through the heels of the palms at the end. Good. Do that a couple more times. And then let your arms come down by your sides. You can roll out your shoulders one more time. Maybe roll them the opposite way too, just for prosperity. And then slide back into your seat again and stack yourself how you did earlier. So feet under your knees, knees in line with the hips, shoulders on top of the hips, head on top of your spine, designed to hold the weight of the skull. So chin down and back. You might feel a different sensation in the back of the neck and the top of the back now that you've moved a little bit here. Fix your gaze on something ahead of you. Re-soften through the eyebrows, Alex. They're not helping you. Unclench your jaw, Alex. These are all for me, certainly not for any of you. Good. And once again, notice anything that's left over. Any of your shesha. S-E-S-A in Sanskrit translates to the echo or remaining thing. Residue. And if you wish, I'll offer a short guided body scan meditation to end class today. But if you'd rather use like your own personal affirmations or a religious prayer, or if you just want to notice your breath or even kind of take a little nap, now is a good time to do that. You do what's best for you to really integrate what we've just done over the last half hour into the rest of your day. Okay, but if you want to follow along with me, bring your awareness and attention just to the tips of your toes. You don't have to move them or find anything. Just notice what's there or not there. And then move your awareness to the bottoms of your feet. Notice the tops of your feet. Notice your ankles. Notice your lower legs. Notice your knees. Notice your upper legs. Notice your hips. Notice your buttocks. Notice your pelvis. Notice your belly. Notice your low back. Notice sides of your waist. Notice your upper back. Notice your chest. Notice your shoulders. Notice your upper arms. Notice your elbows. Notice your lower arms. Notice your wrists. Backs of your hands. Palms of your hands. Notice all of your fingertips. Notice the spaces between your fingertips. Notice the front of your throat. Notice the back of your neck. Notice the back of your head. Notice the top of your head. Notice your forehead. Notice your temples. Notice your ears. Notice your cheeks. Notice your jaw. Notice your chin. Notice your lips. Notice your teeth. Notice your tongue. Notice your nose. Notice your right eyelid. Notice your left eyelid. Notice your left eyebrow. Notice your right eyebrow. Notice the space between your eyebrows. Now that you've noticed your body one piece at a time, step back in your awareness and sense your whole body together as one big piece. Good. Now let go of that. Notice where your mind went. And then bring your attention back to your body on your seat. Notice where you're touching down underneath you. Notice your breath without changing it. Gently start to wiggle your fingers and your toes to let your body wake back up. Good. Start to breathe more awake. You might flutter your eyes open very slightly. And I'll invite you to find that tall posture one last time as you bring your hands together, either in a prayer-like position with your thumbs touching your chest. You could stack your hands, whatever you want that feels right for you. And look down or bow down towards your heart in your hands. And this motion is in gratitude of yourself. So as best you can, give yourself a sincere thank you just for showing up. We all know that's 90% of the work. Everything else is just practice. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. As you're ready, let your hands come down. Your eyes can flutter open and up even more. Class is over. Thank you. If you have questions or concerns, you can tell me now or email me later if you don't want to talk in front of the group. And have a good rest of your day at work. I'll see you next week.